Yep.
Hi.
Hi. I'm not going to scream.
No. No, you're not. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%, but I'm okay. At least I'm up and walking around and not in the fetal position,
that is
rocking back
true.
and forth.
That is true.
Progress.
That is progress. So I am so glad you're feeling better.
Yeah. But the other thing is I want to talk about is Mother Nature in Canada is the biggest bitch on the face of the earth.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
Is
Just
it
when we
s-
think
is it snowing again?
yeah, it is. I just seen flakes happening out there. Yesterday was a blizzard. George couldn't see 2 feet in front of him to go to work. What? I know.
Oh,
That's probably why my headache went away because he wasn't home all day. I don't know.
it had nothing to do with the medication they gave you.
Nothing to do with the great big Demerol shot in the rear end. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hardly, and he never phones me. He phones me and he goes, "Okay, I just want to let you know I got here." I said, "Okay, I was just about to phone you and see if you got there okay." But
But you do what you got to do.
yeah, so yeah, it was bad. And then, it stopped and the sun was shining, and I thought, okay, finally. And then 20 minutes later was another blizzard happening. Anyway,
Jeez.
I am so sick of talking about snow.
I know.
But in all honesty, it encompasses my whole life here. Like it's a daily thing. So someone will say, "What's new with you?" I can't say, "Oh, the crocuses are blooming, da 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 da," and all the flowers on the trees. No, it's snowing. It's snowing,
It's a bleak outcome.
right? It's minus 40 and snowing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to people. Anyway, let's move off of that subject. How are you?
Okay.
I
I'm
feel like I
good.
haven't talked to you in like a week. Or
I
wait,
know.
it has been.
It's been a while. There I go with the yawning. I mean we've talked on chat, but not a whole
Yeah,
lot. I mean, I knew you
yeah.
were doing okay. Okay, I need a new chair. I hate this chair with every fiber of my being. So I move a lot, even if I'm not filming. It's just awful. Anyway, what is new? Um, well, I had to postpone going to my aunt's. I was supposed to go to my aunt's this week, but yesterday Kitty changed the oil in my truck so I could go because it needed an oil change. And so he changed the oil and I got in the truck to move it, and just pushing the brake pedal hurt my foot. Like my foot still hurts that bad. Now I have an appointment on the 24th because my foot keeps hurting. But I'm like, I can't do a 4-hour drive if I can't hold a brake pedal down without it being
Yeah,
painful. So I called the doctor's office. I was like, look, is there any way I can get in sooner? And she's like, yeah, we can get you in Thursday. So I have an appointment tomorrow
good.
to see what's going on with this foot. So that and yesterday, Katie and I had some errands to run, and I had boxes to take to UPS from the live sale. So we open the front door, and I've got the box in my hand, and Lacey decides that's the moment she is going to.
Oh,
No, wait. I reached down and snatched her by her tail and whipped her back in the house so fast. Like it was crazy instinctually fast. So she didn't get out. But after that, I was like, okay, so I put her harness on her and we took her in the backyard and let her be outside. Because she's going to, I just want her to feel like the harness is the only way she gets to go. She's a cat. I don't know how well that's gonna do. But she acts like a dog. So we'll see. I don't know. Other than that, there's not anything new happening.
no. Now, I thought you and Kenny were going on vacation. When's that scheduled for? I need to
Yeah,
mark
that
that in
got
my.
no, that got postponed. So I'm gonna go to my aunt's without him.
Oh,
Because the weather kind of screwed up him get us being able to get the camper because it was raining, and now
oh,
got to help his brothers, and him and I talked about it. I'll get to spend more time with my aunt if it's just me. because once I go up there, she's going to sell the house and move to Missouri. So it's not just going
Oh,
to be a quick 4 hour drive anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, it just gave me an opportunity because he can't sleep in the house because they smoke and the smoke smell gets in his CPAP machine
oh yeah, I can't
and
do that.
we can't get it out. Like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, we learned that lesson the hardest way ever. It ruined his machine. It took a long time for us to get this. We had to buy all new equipment for it and everything, and it still took a long time to fully get the
yeah,
smell out of that machine. So he can't sleep there. We don't want to spend a bunch of money on hotels and go back and forth, but I can just sleep at my aunt's because it doesn't
yeah,
bother me. Um, and just spend time with her and hang out with her and do all the
yeah.
things. So we just
Well, that'll be
decided to kind of
nice.
change that up a bit, and just do it that way. So, as far as him and I go, I don't know yet. Like, there's just a lot of little things happening and
Yeah.
going on. Speaking of this little rotten one,
Lacey, I'm gonna spank you.
girl, like, I'm surprised that
Don't
she
you be.
still wants to love on me after. I'm not kidding. I grabbed that fluffy little tail so fast and just whipped her back in the house and shut the door really fast.
Talk about PTSD, eh?
I
That
know.
that was like, oh my gosh, no way.
Come on, you can do it. There you go. She just wanted to jump on the desk. Um, So yeah, that's what's happening here with us. Not a whole lot of anything else.
Yeah.
You're gonna knock
Well,
stuff over.
well, that's good to hear. At least everything's relatively going smoothly.
Yes. And the life sale was a big success. I'm so excited
I'm
about how
happy
all
for
that
you.
turned out.
Yeah.
Now I will say this, it did take me a little bit longer to get everything packaged up than I thought it would.
Well, that was a
Because
lot.
there was so much. So I
Yeah.
had like I posted a picture. So there was like a lot, but there was a box. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to call anybody out, but one of the boxes weighed 30 pounds.
Holy manoli.
Another box, 18. And then I had flat rate boxes. So I was able to put stuff in flat rate, but they were full. Like, because flat rate
Hmm.
here, it's unlimited weight. Whatever you can shove in a box is what you can send. Um,
Oh,
so for like one flat rate price.
yeah.
So I had a whole bunch of those that were just stuffed to the gills with stuff. So it was good. It was nice. And
Very good.
I don't feel like I made a single dent into everything I have.
You'll have to have another one.
I know. I was like looking around. I was like, what did I sell? Like, I don't know. So bunch of stuff. Anyway, it was
I
fun.
know.
It was fun. So that is it.
What are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about famous fails,
Oh.
but like, well, I've looked up like famous people
Hmm.
who failed before they became famous, or like I don't know, it's just like that. It's like fail better, like they failed and became better because of their failure. So I
Right.
thought, especially as a business owner, it's good to hear that other people were just not born successful, or you know what I mean, like just hearing their
Yeah.
stories, it's like, okay, all right, this is good. I got this. So anyway, that's what we're talking about, and then I'm sure we will chase some rabbits down some holes and get off topic and do what we do
Oh God,
because
yeah.
that's who we are.
I'm already thinking about something else.
What are you thinking about already?
Oh, just I'm thinking about planner stuff. Like I'm so
Oh,
far behind right now because I haven't done, I reached out to some people for collabs and
collabs.
then I hadn't followed up because I've just been out of it. So they're probably thinking, okay, where is she gone? And so
Oh,
that's
I
where
get it.
my mind is wandering, right?
Okay, so speaking of that, real quick, did I tell you about the night that I asked Kenny, like we were falling asleep, and I asked him what was on his mind, and he said
Mm.
nothing. Did I tell you about that? Well, now our listeners are gonna want to know. So I
Yeah.
asked him, what was on his mind? He said, nothing. I was like, really? Like nothing? He's like, no, I'm going to sleep. I was like, just like that, you're going to sleep. He's like, yeah. I was like, how do you do that? He's like, I just turn it off. Okay, I felt like I was sleeping next to a psycho. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I roll over because I have to face the fan and I'm laying there and I start chuckling and he's like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Okay, do you want to know what is on my mind right now?" I said, "Simultaneously, all of this is going through my head. I had the song Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes. Why? No reason. I don't know. But I was
There
thinking
doesn't
head,
have to be
shoulders.
a reason.
No, head, shoulders, knees, and toes was in my head. I was thinking about these blue workout pants that I saw someone wearing and wondering if I would look good in a hat. All like boom, 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 all happening all together. And he was just like, he's like, babe, just go to sleep. I was like, oh, if it was only that easy. Oh my gosh. So talking about mind wandering, that is every night for me. Every night that kind of thing happens. I can't just go to sleep. I have all these thoughts and it's
Well, I
exhausting
my mind wanders too, but not song wise.
always.
And it used to be a lot worse before I had my little music cozy thing
Hmm.
because now I don't think at all. I just listen. So my brain isn't on overdrive.
No, it's just
It's
focused on
just
one
I'm
thing.
focused on what I'm listening to, and yeah.
See, I tried that and I did fall asleep. But when there's a change, if there's a change in voice or if there's like a change in anything, it wakes
Oh
me up. And
yeah.
then
See,
I have a hard time going back to sleep.
I listen to one from the beginning, so it just goes to the next one and the next one. So those voices are
Yeah.
the same voices that I'm hearing all the time.
But they don't have commercials or breaks.
If they do, I don't hear it.
Hmm.
Yeah. If they do, I don't hear it. But all I know is that since then, since using that, I I pretty much sleep through the night unless I have to get up and go to the bathroom and you know.
I'm gonna see if I can find a like a maybe a story that I don't care about, that I don't get involved. That's soothing and it will lull me to sleep with no change, like no
Yeah.
commercials. There's a lot of things I've listened to, probably because I listen to the free version because I'm a cheapo. It has commercials and stuff. God, this thing gets on my nerves.
Like I'm sure there's books out there that you can listen to.
I know, but I'm afraid I'd get involved in the story and not go to sleep.
Okay, yeah, okay. So we're
I
talking about different kind of a per
mental, a different kind of
different
mental
kind of
issues.
person.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just know that before my music cozy, I would lay there and that's all I would think about. What I should be doing tomorrow. Oh, I didn't do that today. I should do that tomorrow. Add that to the list. And oh, what about this? Oh, I got to get George's paperwork done. And oh my gosh, I got to do the minutes for the Lions Club. And before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm
Yep.
still laying there thinking about all the
And you
things.
have worked so hard just laying there trying to go to sleep.
That's right. And do you think I remember any of it in the morning? I'm like, oh,
No.
okay. So what am I going to do today? Oh, I think I'll go to my craft desk, and none of it will get done.
That's because the reasonable logical part of you is awake now.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
All right,
So that's
listeners.
all.
So if you have any solutions
Yeah.
for me, let me know. I need something boring and droll that will put me to sleep and not get me interested.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. Famous failures.
Famous failures. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to come up with one right off the get-go because it's amazing to me.
Okay.
Do you know that um oh my gosh. Now I had it in my head, now I can't find it. That in the car people, like the Ford,
Hmm.
the do you know that they failed at their car business like 4 or 5 times before it actually took? I
I
couldn't
didn't know it was
believe when
that
I
many
read that.
times.
It was like a lot. And I want to go and I had it in my head because I thought it was, I didn't have it in my computer, but Yeah, it was. I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Anyway, you go on to one till I find one.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell the story and
Okay.
then we'll say who it is.
Okay.
Okay. So this person grew up and his father was killed when he was 11. Um and his mom got remarried and they were fine. Um but he kind of in his young adult years decided that selling drugs is what he was going to do because he wanted to make more money. Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah. So he got busted at the airport with 1.5 pounds of cocaine. Um
Wow.
he was released on bail. He had his trial. He ended up going to prison. They did knock down his sentence for giving up his partner. So he had to spend 8 years in federal prison. Ultimately, it was only 28 months. Um, and he later became a huge success. Do you want to know who that person was?
Yes, I would love to know. I'm going to be shocked as hell, aren't I?
Tim Allen.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope, Tim Allen.
Oh my gosh.
So after he was paroled, he was working at an ad agency and he became a regular at a comedy like a comedy place, Comedy Castle.
Hmm.
And then he went on from there to become very successful in the home improvement. So
Wow.
because he persuaded the studio to use his routine as the basis for a new sitcom, which was Home Improvement.
Hmm.
Um, and that's how that started. So yeah, he I got busted for being selling drugs.
That I am so surprised by that.
So
Wow.
there you
I
go.
don't even know what to say about that one because that it really does surprise me. I was thinking maybe like one of the rappers or one of the, you know what
Mm-mm.
I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the entertainment industry, singers.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Wow.
Yep, Tim Allen. And like so innocent looking and you know what I mean? And okay, just because you sell drugs doesn't make you a drug addict. A lot of people who sell them don't actually use them. It's a business. But anyway, and no, don't ask me how I know. Trust me, if it was me, I wouldn't be like in this situation. Okay.
Oh my God, that's too funny. I still can't find the one I was talking about, so we'll just move on
Okay. Do
to
you
the
want me,
next one.
do you have one?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
I'm going to tell the story first. This person was a it- book publisher, making mega novelist type of scenario. He was a storyteller, and he was told by publishers that they weren't even interested in any kind of science fiction or no, they can't. You can't be a writer type of scenario. That this kind of storytelling is not what people want, and da 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 da. So this person was dejected. He was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to be a, you know, um, he dumped his book in the trash, but his wife retrieved it and implored him to resubmit it. And do you know who that is?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Stephen King.
Yep. And it was the
Uh,
book Carrie
yes,
that
it
she pulled
was.
out of the trash.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I was when I read that one earlier, I thought, oh my gosh, that's another one that I would never have thought.
No. Like him and his wife both wanted to be writers, but she wasn't cut out for it. Like, but apparently
No.
he was. A little fun tidbit about Stephen King: he has wrote so many horror films that he can't sleep with the lights off in his own house.
I heard that long time ago, actually.
Yeah, he has
Well,
all
you
the
know
lights
what?
on.
That's what happens when you're
when you have a crazy
when you're
imagination,
yeah,
like I
and
can
he's
see
good at it
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I actually heard that one on a podcast that Kitty and I listened to. It's a storyteller, and he was talking about those things. Oh, all right. I'm next. All right. So this guy founded a company, and he really believed in this company. He knew it could be a huge success, but he just couldn't get it off the ground. And he was trying and trying and trying. His company basically came down to only having $5,000. He had a huge bill that he had to pay, plus all of his employees, et cetera, et cetera. And he couldn't do it. There was $5,000 left in the bank.
Oh
And
my
he
God.
he took a chance. He took that $5,000 and went to Vegas and he gambled and he won $27,000. So that kept his company afloat for a week while he was looking for more funding. Um, and so after he tried to secure more loans, they wouldn't back his company. So he just kept gambling and winning to keep his
Wow.
company afloat. Like it was all to keep his company afloat. And finally, he actually did get backing and more funding, and now it is a very successful company. Do you know what company that is?
I think I know what it is, but I want you to tell me just in case I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I
Uh,
remember reading it when we were first talking about this
yeah.
subject. I remember reading it. So can I guess?
Yes.
Or do you want me to not
No,
ruin
guess.
it
I
for you?
guess Stephen King. I mean, I actually knew that's who it was, but go ahead, guess.
Is it FedEx?
It is FedEx.
I knew it.
It is FedEx.
I couldn't
Yep.
remember if it was Amazon or FedEx. I thought
Nope.
it was FedEx, but I knew it was one of the big.
It was FedEx, and he went on to be a multi-million dollar, very successful shipping company, and all
Oh my
because he
gosh.
was a good gambler.
And you know how amazing that is because it surprises me because you'd think the normal person going in, like to me, that's meant to be, right?
Yes, yeah,
That's meant to be because anybody else going in, that's not going to happen.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Like
So
that is
I
meant
think
to be.
something was watching out over him. Like, okay, he needs to,
Yep. This
right?
is this needs to be a success because this is part of our history.
Well, the other one I have, and I think everybody's going to know this, was, and I'm just going to say it off the top, right? I'm not going to make you guess. You probably have read all the ones I've read anyway. Um, is Thomas Edison.
Mhm.
He failed so many times, but kept going and going and going. And I think there was somebody that tried to help him a few times, but um, he tried over 1,000 times to make it happen. And pardon me, before it actually worked. And then after that, even nobody would, people looked at it as a little bit of voodoo. Like they didn't,
Yeah,
oh no, they didn't want
yeah,
to,
yeah,
they didn't want to touch it. So he had to convince people that this was going to be a big thing for them.
yeah. The light
The
bulb.
light bulb. Yeah.
Yeah, electricity, light bulb.
Yeah.
It reminds me of it reminds me of Downton Abbey when Maggie Smith was walking in. She's like, "Oh, it's so bright. Why do we have this?
Yes.
Because they're so
Do you
used to
remember?
all the candles." Could you that right there just shows you how hot it had to be in there because they literally had everything on fire just so they could see.
But not only hot, could you imagine the wax smell in the house? Like
And
you're
that
breathing all that in? I don't know.
it's so crazy. But yeah, and people like even didn't want to embrace anything new because it was like
No.
voodoo, scary. Why?
Well,
We're
yeah,
doing
because
just fine.
in that episode too, the telephone came in. Remember
Yeah.
when and they were all like, "What is this?"
Oh, and how they
Yeah,
didn't want to get like the radio.
yeah,
You're gonna listen one time and that's it because
and
this is
that's it.
no
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
And now we're all about change, and it can't happen fast enough. It's
Fast
like,
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
like we get bored with the same old and we want change. It's so crazy how things work like that. um, so I have another one. So
Okay.
there was this actor who could not get any good positions at all. He had little roles here, little roles there. And finally he was just like, I'm done. I'm just gonna be a carpenter. So he taught himself carpentry because he had a family and he wanted to take care of his family. And
Was it Tim Allen?
no.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I just popped.
he was a dealer, not a carpenter.
Oh, okay.
Um, and one day his one of his good friends said, "Hey, they're looking for someone to go read for a part. You're not trying out though. They just need someone to read for the part until they find the right person. And but you're going to get paid." And he's like, "This may be good exposure for you, blah blah blah, just do it." And he was like, "No, I'm not doing it. Like the I'm tired of this, I don't want to do it, whatever." And finally, he was just like, fine. So he went and he was so angry and so frustrated that all they wanted him for was just to read, that he didn't even have a chance to get this part. So he read the part with his attitude and his frustration or whatever. And they loved it so much that they were like, okay, you get the part.
God. Who?
Harrison Ford, Star
No
Wars.
kidding.
Yep. And they were adamant about he was not the right person for it, but they just needed someone to read the part until they found the right person. And
Wow.
they ended up yeah. And then I mean he went from there, Harrison Ford and all the things. And he's still acting. He's still doing,
Oh, I
the
know.
Western 1923, I think is the one he's in. And yeah, so yep, that's how he got to start.
That's amazing.
Like his big thing. And
I
because
love stories like that.
I know. It's like, dang. Okay, next time I go on an interview, I'm just going to go with a pissy attitude, see if I get the job. Oh, okay. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to be successful. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, good to go.
Okay, so I have one that is just an epic fail. It's got nothing to do with failing and then
Success.
succeeding. This is
Okay.
one epic fail.
Look, this lady decided she wanted to run a sticker business, and then she changed
Ah!
Dr. Ling.
Oh my God.
I'm only kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is happened in 1912.
Okay.
On the Titanic's maiden voyage, a lookout neglected to bring his binoculars to the crow's nest to spot the icebergs. Well, you know what happened.
That is an epic fail. That's someone who didn't do their job well.
That's like a surgeon showing up with no scalpels, using his fingers or something. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Wow. So that one person, that one
Yep.
little detail. That's
He
why
didn't.
details matter. That
Yeah.
is why details matter. That is why when you're given a job and they say this is what you do and how you do it,
Yeah.
details matter.
Yep.
You
So
could
he was
sink a unsinkable ship.
he was slotted to work at they call it the crow's nest,
Yeah,
which is to spot icebergs. And he forgot his binoculars, so he was up there not even noticing that they were
about to all die.
full steam ahead into the biggest block of ice going.
Wow. That is
Oh
so
well.
crazy.
I don't ask me how they know that. I don't know. How do they know that? Like I don't did anybody survive from the Titanic? I think a
Hmm.
few did. Not a lot,
Actually,
but a few.
quite a few did. I mean,
But it,
I don't know how what the a small
yeah,
percentage, but
it's a small percent, but I don't know if the ones that survived would know that he showed up without his binoculars. Like,
it could have
anywho,
just been a rumor that flew around. Like, how did this
yeah,
happen? How did this happen? And I mean, it
could have
could
been the
be true.
captain blaming him instead of
Captain could have
taking the
fallen
blame.
asleep, right?
There you go. Let's just twist this all shades of you know what,
We know.
right?
We know. We were
Liar.
there.
Everybody's a liar.
And oh, guilty until proven innocent.
That's right.
What else you got?
Okay.
You got another one?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have some, so
Okay, here's another epic fail. When lightning strikes New York City's electric grid, an operator fails to flip some switches in time, resulting in one of the largest blackouts in city history. So let me ask you this. Oh, it's not a switchboard operator.
no.
It's just an operator. Ah, the sun makes me look yellow. I just got a glimpse of myself because my eyesight's not great. I was like, I have to look close,
Oh
and then I
my!
got a glimpse.
I'm trying to figure out how that fit into your story. I was like,
It didn't. I just
what?
looked close to make sure I wasn't reading, because switchboard opera. Where did I get switchboard from?
Because your brain filled in what you couldn't see.
An operator fails to flip some switches in time, resulting in the largest blackout in city history. And I'm still yellow. I'm joking. Go ahead. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not feeling my best friend, so everybody just back off. Go ahead.
Everyone is fine. Everyone is fine. Everyone loves us. All 30 something of them. So
I love you, 37 people.
we love you.
I love you.
um, so I'm just gonna read the story. So at the time
Okay.
when J.K. Rowling, or Rowling, whatever, was writing what was to become the most popular children's fiction series of all times, she was also at the lowest ebb of her life, unemployed, as she described herself at the time as being poor, and it was possible poor as it was possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. Oh, so she's like on the brink
Oh,
of homelessness. Okay, got it. I don't
yeah.
know why they had to write it so weird. She had a young child who was dependent on her and who she was raising alone. She was struggling with clinical depression. When she submitted the manuscript of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone to be published, no fewer than 12 of them rejected it. Even when Bloomsbury accepted her novel, Rowling was advised by her editor that she ought to get a day job, as she would not be able to earn enough from the writing to support herself. You know the rest of the story. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone became one of the top five selling books of all time, selling over 100 million copies, and its sequels made Rowling the first person in the world to become a US dollar billionaire by writing fiction.
And that's a huge one because she is massive right now,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yep. Um, oh, here's one about Walt Disney. You want me to read it or you want to go?
Yes, no, you can.
Okay. The films of Walt Disney and those from his studio produced after his death are an integral part of many people's childhoods, but he experienced multiple failures, including one point at which his finances were in such a perilous state that he allegedly ate dog food to survive. Oh.
Aw.
His first studio, the Laugh-O-Gram Studio, lasted 2 years before going bankrupt in 1923. By 1926, he had created a successful cartoon character in the form of Oswald the Rabbit, but when he tried to negotiate a higher fee for producing the series, his distributor informed him that his fee was to be cut instead. Even worse, he didn't own the intellectual property to the character as he had believed he did. He was given an ultimatum: accept the reduced fee or have the character and staff taken away from him. He declined, and most of his staff left him. But the loss of the Oswald character was ultimately to be Disney's gain. The next character he created was due to be remembered long after Oswald, and was just a footnote in Disney's biography, which was Mickey Mouse. Can you imagine being so low that you have to eat dog food?
You know what? It's kind of sad, but and I again, I'm going to dive off the deep end here into something else. Do you know that a lot of our um, elderly people and war heroes eat dog food? Do
Now
you know that? Yeah,
I can see it.
they can't afford to live.
I can see that.
So, and I only know that because when we talk about, so when we're at the club and we're getting ready for the hamper program and all that kind of stuff, we always have police officers come in and talk to us about the town and how it's doing and that kind of stuff. And
What the needs are and stuff like
yeah,
that.
and they tell us that you would be surprised at how many, and none of them will go. They have too much pride to go to the food bank
Hmm.
or to us, or you know what I mean. So if you notice elderly people, then and that's what we do. So some of us will, like I know the person across the street. She's, you know, her husband died and her brother's sick and all that kind of stuff. And I told the hamper chair, I said, you know what, we need to send some stuff over there.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's what we
good.
watch out for those people. But yeah, that's what happens anyway. Long and short, that's what kind of happens,
I can
which
see that.
is, yeah. Another short one. Did you know that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team?
Crazy.
I I find that hilarious because
Like,
now look at him.
I know.
He's got his own shoe. He's like
He is one of the
uh, uh,
most
uh,
famous basketball players of all
basketball
time.
players. Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, it was Henry Ford. Yes. Remember I was telling you
Oh yeah,
earlier?
Henry Ford.
Early businesses failed and left him broke 5 times before he founded the successful Ford Motor Company.
Get this.
Okay.
Colonel Sanders, KFC,
Oh, yeah.
rejected rejected by over 1,000 restaurants before he was able to establish KFC.
Really?
Can you imagine that? I get I get rejected and I just want to crawl under a rock. I'm not about to try this a
But maybe
thousand
that's
more
why
times.
could you imagine? It's like, no, I think the next time will be it. Nope. Oh no, the next time's gonna be it. No. Can you imagine?
No, I can't. I
Uh-uh.
mean, I have some determination, but I don't think I have 1,000 determinations in me. Like
And
that.
I gotta say this.
Ah,
KFC isn't what it used to be.
no, it's not. No, it is.
I
It
don't
is
I don't
not
know
the
what
Colonel's chicken.
I don't know what your country does, but how can I say this without being unpolitically correct? But it's the truth. It's not, I'm not lying about it. But there's oh, forget it. I'm not going to say it because it's just going to make people irate. Next.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay,
Yeah, so the
going.
beep, 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 back up.
Fred Astaire was told he couldn't sing or act.
Really?
Yes.
What is wrong with people?
Elvis Presley was fired from his first performance at the Grand Ole Opry.
I did hear that long time ago.
But I have a feeling it wasn't because of his talent. He
No.
was pushing the boundaries with his physique
Now,
and
could
his
you imagine?
energy.
That goes to show you where we are today, right? So
Hmm.
he's in there shaking his stupid little hips and sending everybody off the deep end.
Off the deep end.
And now we got carpets full of people walking up nude.
Yep.
Like at the red carpet events. And it's like, what is
No
wrong
big
with
deal.
what's
Yeah.
happening? What's happening? Okay, so do you want to know one? Do you know the Dr. Zeus books?
Hmm.
Yeah. Theodore Zeus Gazelle. I don't know. Giselle. Anyway, doesn't matter. His first book was rejected by 27 publishers.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine? And again, we're back at the how many times are you going to keep
Yeah.
going before you say, ah, screw it? Like,
No,
you
I don't.
really have to believe in yourself to,
You really do. Are just, but there are those people who just really are like, I don't accept that and just keep going. I don't know
yeah,
that I have that determination.
I know I don't.
Okay, so here's one.
Like,
James
someone said to
Dyson.
me, Lorie, you can't plan. I go, okay. And
You're
that'll be
right.
it. You're right. No more videos for me, right?
It was just a matter of time.
Shucks. I was just liking it too. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Lorie, you can't plan. Okay. You're right. What was I thinking?
Why am I here? Oh my gosh, that is hysterical. James Dyson suffered through 5,126, so he was keeping track, failed prototypes before his first working vacuum cleaner, the Dyson vacuum cleaner. 5,126 fails.
Like, why do you keep track of that? That would just be so depressing. There is no music cozy that would take that out of my mind when I go to bed,
No, those
right?
numbers would be like
Nothing's
dancing
gonna,
in my head.
nothing's wiping that out. Someone had to keep that quiet from him. I would have just packed it in. Well, obviously, I'm all ready to pack it in, and I just told myself I wasn't good at planning.
Stop it.
I'm joking.
Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. He eventually dropped out and pursued his passion for filmmaking and has made it himself.
Something with him too. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here what I can't remember.
And Walt Disney was also fired from a job at a newspaper very early in his career because they said he lacked imagination. Okay.
Oh my God.
But see, I think it's the people who push the boundary of the norm,
Yeah,
right? And people don't like change, kind of like with the light
yeah.
bulb. It's like, no, we'll continue to inhale, beeswax and soot and whatever and be hot as opposed to getting a light bulb. I think it's, and with Elvis Presley and his gyrating hips, because that threw them all in the tizzy.
Oh, big
Um,
time.
and so I think it's the people who push the boundaries of the norm, and
Hmm.
people are like, yeah, we don't like that. Like that's not how it's done. So no, and you can't be here. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from is people not liking change.
So here's one. I agree with you 100%. Here's one that I read yesterday. Now, I might not be able to quote it word for word, but look it up. You'll figure it out. Okay. These are all
Okay.
smart people. Apparently, Teddy Roosevelt. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
um,
We were
apparently
best
he,
friends back in the day.
yeah, apparently he went out hunting one time, and it was um, someone had shot a bear or something, and he was so upset by it. He just didn't want any part of it. He didn't like it. Da 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 da. Anyway, some people caught wind of it, and were trying to make fun of him for it, basically calling him a pussy, so to speak.
Hmm.
That they have him with his foot on um, a bear, like he, you know. Anyway, long and short of it is, that's where the teddy bear came from. Do you know teddy bears were named after Theodore I did not know that.
Yep,
Did I get that story right?
kind of.
Okay. Fill us in what I didn't get right because I'm reading it off the top of my head.
No, it's
Well,
fine.
not,
He refused to shoot a bear that was tied to a tree during a hunting trip. So
yes, that's
basically,
okay.
Yeah, so basically they're just like, here, we're gonna make it easy for you.
for
We're gonna tie
you.
this bear to a
Yeah,
tree. Um,
which probably took courage all on its own. How do you tie a bear to a tree? Anywho, move
uh,
on.
okay, I wonder how many people failed at that
Yeah,
before it was a success.
dear Lord. Go
Oh,
ahead.
it took 6,000 people
Yeah,
to tie the bear to the tree.
797,000 times. So that's it. It was tied to the tree.
So it's tied to the tree, and he absolutely refused to shoot it. And that inspired a political cartoon and the stuffed toy named Teddy Bear.
Yeah, there you go. I think
So,
that's a win. Good for you, Teddy.
yep, good for you, Teddy. Thank you for bringing us a bear.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not the
What
one.
else? I don't know that I can see anything else.
So Coco Chanel was rejected by several apprenticeships and struggled to secure funding for her early ventures.
Oh. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey was fired from a number of her jobs before she went and did her own stuff? And
Yeah,
now look at her.
yeah.
Way to pull up your big girl pants, right?
Oh, The Matrix was initially rejected by many studios for being too strange and confusing. I'm telling you, people don't like change. They don't like something outside of the norm. Because same thing, I feel like that's the same thing that happened to Stephen King. He
Yeah.
wrote things that were not the norm. And
Norm,
trust
yeah.
me, he writes some crazy nonsense.
He sure does. But
But
it's very
it
entertaining.
is very interesting. Something I can't. Some things I'm just like, no. After I saw Pet Cemetery, oh, no. Anyway,
Do you know that Bill Gates faced a number of rejections from investors for his Microsoft idea?
I have no doubt. Again, new,
Hmm.
right? New ideas.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody likes new. Everyone likes it back. But
Just the way
in
that it
all
was.
honesty, I'm going to tell you something right now. I really wish we were back in the what is that? What's that show called? Little House on the Prairie days.
So simple.
I just want to be running around the mountains and heading to school with my slate and, you know, everything's all peachy keen.
The
You know,
fact that you remember
The-
it was a slate, that's
well,
awesome.
I am 60 something years old. Anywho, do you know what I mean? Like the
I
simple,
do.
like they're growing their own veggies and you know,
Yeah, but all it takes is a hailstorm or a locust infestation and they're destitute.
ah, destitute from what though? From what?
Okay, true
It's
that.
not like they're destitute and they can't go to the mall or they can't go to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so you just live in your hut, that house thing that you've built,
Start over next year. They had
right?
great resolve.
I'm sure they pack stuff away in case of disasters. And not only that, hey, back then, love your neighbor meant something. Neighbors pitched in and the church all
Oh
gathered
yeah.
them all up and let's feed the Ingalls. They had a locust infestation. Now it's like, oh, screw the neighbor. Let him figure it out himself.
Yeah,
I
you're
had
right.
to. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit. Anyway, I'm very negative on today's society.
No,
Oh,
but it's true. People, I mean, yes, there are good people. This isn't all of humanity, but a good portion of people, like all you have to do is watch these crazy videos of, like you were saying, you watch the cops with the, what are those things called?
oh, the
Body
body
cam.
cam.
Yeah, I was kept wanting to say dash cam. It's not it, body cam. But you can see, I mean, the insanity that are people.
Yeah,
I just can't.
big time. It's
And
disgusting.
then they have their friends or their family hopping in, acting like they're innocent. What are you doing? I can't believe you're doing that. Did you just see what happened? Like, ugh.
Oh my gosh. I know. I try not to dive onto the negative, but oh my God, it's everywhere you turn.
Vera
So to
Wang.
Vera, you know what? I've heard about
She's
her
a big
small.
designer.
No, but I've heard something that about her
So apparently
epic.
she was a competitive figure skater, but she failed to make the US Olympic team. And then she just became a designer. She's like, well, screw it. If I can't skate, I'll design. Like, how do you?
Oh,
That's one leap to another. Monet only achieved recognition as a painter after his death. He was never recognized before as a great painter.
wasn't Vincent Van Gogh that way too?
Um,
I
Vincent van
can't remember.
Gogh sold only one painting during his lifetime and died penniless in 1890.
Yeah, man, oh man. Well, apparently the Orville Wright brothers were a big fail until they found success.
Yep. Oh, they were because they were constantly told that's impossible. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
You're wasting your
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Emily Dickinson didn't achieve success as a poet until after she died.
Wow, it's quite amazing. Oh, wow, I think it's amazing. Sometimes it's, you look at these people and you think, wow.
But then you know what though? I sometimes, if you really look at yourself, look at the things that you persevered through and
Hmm.
became better for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I think we all have it in ourselves to do this.
yeah.
Uh I mean, so even myself, I am not a huge success by any stretch of the imagination.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure that I want to be, but anyway, that's not the point. Um, I mean, I wouldn't be like, no, I'm out if I became a huge success. And when I
Yeah,
say huge success, I'm talking my stuff in stores and, whatever.
yeah,
But that's not even a goal. So, but I look at how far I've come and the obstacles I've had to face.
yeah,
And I did persevere. I did push through. I did make things happen. I did change up.
yeah.
So I think we all have it in us. I don't
But
know
I
that I
do.
have it in me for 1,000 times of doing that, but I have it in me a little bit.
Well, the thing of it too is, I think the thing you have to look at is you're doing it all on your own.
Oh
You're
yeah.
not, you
When I
don't have a
say
team.
I have nobody, it is
Yeah.
me, myself, and I. That is it. Does every aspect of my business. And it is cray cray. But I like it. I enjoy it.
Well, as long as it brings you joy, then
I
that's all
I
that matters.
Oh, it brings me a lot of hell and heartache too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And there are days I'm just like, I'm done. I'm just sending out a mass email to everybody right now. I'm done. I'm quit. But then I have people reach out to me and comment on videos or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can't be done.
Keeps you going, right?
Yeah.
I know. I know. I know. I look at
So,
my thing and I'm thinking, oh my God, I think, I don't know, I'm going to say 13 people away from my 2,000 goal for subscribers.
ooh, okay.
And
Y'all
I,
have go subscribe.
and I think I'm pretty sure all 37 people are subscribed to my channel. But anyway, um, but if I, because a lot of people think, well, why do you care about that? Well, I don't really, but it gives me a goal. It gives
Yes.
you that strive to keep going. And okay, well, somebody likes it, so let's keep going. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I mean everything you do, and that's even our topic. Everything you do, if you don't believe in it and you don't like it, and you don't think it's of value to anybody, then you just stop.
Yeah.
But you do keep going because of those things.
I agree.
So
And you should
one
have
day,
goals.
everybody should have goals. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you should have a goal of being in factories and selling it to stores and
No, I don't want that. I don't. Now, I would like to get a bit bigger and be able to afford to hire someone to, come and do some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would like that. And not just clean my office. That would be number one. But maybe help with social media or take one tiny part, when I do have like the live sale and big orders and the boxes and
Hmm.
the big stuff, someone be able to come in and help with that. Packaging up everything takes a ridiculous amount of time. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know how to say that. But the thing is I don't have anything manufactured.
Yeah.
Everything I do is made by me. I
Hmm.
don't, and let me tell you right now, I am so thankful that I don't have my stuff manufactured because I would be out of business in half a heartbeat because I couldn't pay tariffs on stuff that I had to bring in from anywhere.
No.
So I am at this point very grateful that I have not gone the manufacturer route, that I've just decided I'm doing this in-house and I'm doing it myself.
Hmm.
Um, because I can keep my prices basically the same. I
Hmm.
don't have to raise them because of the other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I'm still just one person and doing all of that. I mean, when I do my advent boxes, okay, I'm going to brag on myself. Okay. I put a lot of thought and effort and energy into every box that I send, whether it's my advent, that just happens to be the biggest one, or my bi-monthly subscription boxes. A lot goes into that. And it's
Hmm.
all me. I make all the dangles. I create all the everything that's in there. I
Yeah.
print it out. I cut it. I package it. That's all of that. I
Yeah.
advertise it. I put on the website. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. So
Yeah. Good for you.
good job, Steph. Because I don't have any employees over here patting me on the back.
Well, all I gotta say is, thank God you like it. Because if you didn't like it or enjoy it in any way, shape, or form, that would be difficult to do. Keep going and keep going, right? Especially when you're on your own.
Yeah,
So
but I
good
do
for
like
you.
it. So anyway, so far.
Look at the mess in my desk. I haven't even cleaned my desk up from when I did my last video of the junk journal.
I clean mine up and then I mess it up again.
It's all just piled there.
And that's okay. I assure you it won't go anywhere. So it's
Oh,
safe.
110%.
That is a constant you don't have to worry about. There are no fairies that come in and clean
Oh
ever.
no,
Ever, ever.
no.
I spent a ridiculous amount of time last night cleaning off this desk because it was piled. Oh my. And all the little things. I had like two buttons and a uh some paper clip, like the little piddly stuff. I don't know how it ended up over here. I don't remember
Yeah,
that, but it was over here. And putting all that little stuff back up, honestly, I just wanted to just scrape it all into the trash. But then there's a
yeah.
part of me, it's like, oh, but that's so pretty. And you would miss it. I would not miss it. I didn't even know it was here. How am I gonna
Right?
miss something? Crazy, crazy. But I didn't scoop it in the trash. I put it in my little button container up there.
Okay,
So,
so Meg, my daughter-in-law works. She does a little working at a sub shop that a friend of her has just down the street. She comes home the other day and she goes, I have something that you're gonna like. Meanwhile, I'm laying in bed, reeling from this headache. And I go, oh yeah, what's that? And I said, honestly, I'm not really hungry because I thought she brought me a sub. I'm not really hungry. She goes, no, 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 I got this for you. And she brings me this book, like yay big, okay,
wow.
of old wallpaper from the wallpaper place next door.
Oh my God.
I said, oh, Meg, where did you get that? She goes, well, I was in there talking about my mom's wallpaper and whatever. And I guess Meg said, oh, she was at the counter taking this wallpaper back. And there was this book sitting there.
Hmm.
And she goes, oh, is this new wallpaper in? Like, is this something that she goes, oh, no, no, I'm just throwing that out. She goes, oh, don't throw it out. My mother-in-law would love that.
That is amazing.
So yeah,
Okay, so now that you say that, That shows a level of respect for what you do. Because she thought about you and brought something into
Oh,
the house and
okay.
into your room. And
Yeah. Look, oh my God. Like when I look at myself, I look like a disaster.
I just look like a tomato with just bangs because I got my hair cut. See, it's all short,
Yeah.
but it looks awful today because I haven't fixed it in okay days. I literally wake up and I just run my fingers through my hair and I'm done. So it's not fixed.
That's sweet. Well, I
That's
think
it.
that's all I have. How about
Me
you?
too. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. All right, bye.
Bye.